Hey, it's Brent, and this is part 2 of getting her to leave the club with you. And in our last video, we talked about a lot of things. Last-minute resistance, we talked about testing, we talked about how you could phrase it better. But really what I want to focus on in this video is creating a sexy vibe so that there is no more last-minute resistance, or it's very rare. And so all women who meet you are going to want to leave with you, okay? So I touched on it in the last video a little bit, how the woman felt a connection to you maybe because of the dancing and because maybe you were good company, but you didn't have a sexy vibe. She didn't feel that from you. So I really want you to examine, okay, first of all, what you're feeling in that moment, okay? I will point a few things out that I think are distinctions and defining factors here. First of all, if you are using Latin dancing in order to get something, to get laid, to get attention, to get a date, to get whatever, that's your first mistake, okay? I used to do the same thing. I'm going to tell you what to do instead, but you're going to have to remove going out and Latin dancing in order to get something and switch it to going out, Latin dancing because you love Latin dancing and you're going to have a great time and you're going to have a great time and you're going to inspire women, okay? So because that's what this is really about. She didn't feel inspired to leave with you. That's why you have last-minute resistance. That's why you have tests, okay? We cause most of the stuff that happens, even though I said in the last video that yes, there may be something out of your control, but I always like to err on the side of how did I cause this? What part did I play in this? And I think if you do that and you practice that, then last-minute resistance is going to be a very, very rare occurrence. So anyway, she wasn't inspired properly, okay? And if you're going to inspire women, first of all, you have to show up as a guy who women leave with. Okay, so it's not done after you get there, it's done before you get there, before you go out. You have to convince yourself that you are the guy. Right? And you can create this story while you're at home, the exact scenario, right? And here's an example. You know, every time I go out Latin dancing, I connect on a sexual level with beautiful women who are exactly my type. And then I usually say, hey, I'm out of here and going to get some champagne. I assume you're coming. And she goes, yeah, I definitely want to come. Or she says, hey, let's get out of here. It's her idea. Okay? So that's the kind of story you have to tell yourself. And you have to absolutely convince yourself that you are that guy. Okay? So then when you show up, there is no question in a woman's mind. Okay? Remember that most communication is nonverbal. Most of it. Okay, so very little of it is what you say and how you banter with her and try to talk her into stuff, right? That's why that doesn't work as much. Okay, so the other part of this, okay, so first you're gonna tell yourself that, right? You're gonna repeat that to yourself, and then you're also gonna visualize that. You're gonna visualize that happening, and you're gonna visualize that going through to your end result. Okay, and you're gonna get physically excited about it. You're gonna get emotional about it. Okay, that's step number 1. And then when you show up, you're going to be that guy, okay? The other thing I want to mention here is that you really have to change the reason you're going out, okay? Even though you've told yourself that this is what happens when I go out, okay? You also want to tell yourself, I go out to have a great time and help women escape. And I meet beautiful women and I inspire them and they all want to go home with me. So whether I mention it or whether they mention it, we go home. Right? We go get some champagne. We go and get down to business or whatever it is that you're after, okay? So you want to remove the I want, I need, I'm attached to, okay? Because that's going to come across in your vibe. It's already coming across in your vibe. I can guarantee it. If you're going out to get something, you show up, the girl's talking to you, you may be a fantastic dancer, and maybe you're kind of cool, but she's thinking, God, this guy wants something. He needs this. He needs to get me. He's trying to get me into bed. And she meets thousands of other guys like that. So you're not differentiating yourself enough by just trying to do it better than other guys, okay? That's a huge distinction here, guys. It's not enough to do it better. You have to be different. You have to change your strategy and be the right guy. The right guy can get away with really anything. Women have no rules around the right guy. They throw those rules out the window. Okay? And the only thing they're focused on when the right guy shows up, who's done all the work and who shows up as the sexy guy who women leave with and they feel good about leaving with him, all they're thinking is, when can I leave with him? That's what they're thinking. The right guy can always do that. Okay? So what you need to do here is focus on creating that vibe. And it's all going to come down to what you tell yourself and that inner work I told you to do. So you want to do that 7 days a week. And you can add other things to that story too, but I was just giving you a specific example for this specific situation. Because I don't want you spending all your time with a woman and having her spend her, just wasting both your time, right? And then at the end of the night, whatever, it's gone. Okay? It would be great to carry on that interaction. And in fact, she would want to if you show up as a different guy. So listen, that's really all I have to say about it, but I wanted to kind of give you some things that you could do right now to change that outcome, and so that you don't really have to ever deal with these kind of situations, or if you do, they are a rare occurrence. Okay, so listen, I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you later.